Have you been talked down to? Do other people on your team take credit for your work? Is there no collaboration happening on your team? Those are all signs of no social regulation. I want to share tips today to help you combat that toxic work environment. Welcome to the Help for Leaders podcast. I'm Stacey Harris. Before we dive into today's episode, click here to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, ring that bell so you're notified each week when we post new content. We're right in the middle of a series that I'm doing on emotional intelligence. Today, we're going to talk about social regulation. It's a huge aspect of EQ, and it impacts our teams. And so, just a quick overview. What is emotional intelligence? It's that ability to understand our emotions. It's that ability to use emotions to make healthy, productive decisions and be really engaged in our performance at work. And so we've talked about three other aspects of EQ. We've talked about self-awareness and self-regulation, which are those internal pieces of EQ, understanding our own emotions and how to process those disruptive emotions. And now we're talking about the emotions of other people, our teams. We looked at social awareness last week, and today we're going to talk about social regulation, which is all about understanding other people. It's really about networking and managing relationships with team members. And so we're going to talk about that, what it looks like to be healthy in that and what it looks like to actually be low in that area. Social awareness and social regulation are really tied together, hand in hand, and they impact our team members, they impact our environment and how we're managing emotions, how we're identifying emotions in each other and regulating those emotions. And so looking at social regulation in the workplace, have you ever been talked down to by a manager or by a leader or by a team member? How does that feel? Not very good, honestly. I had someone tell me recently that their manager yelled at them in front of their entire team. There's no excuse. That's bad behavior. That is no self-regulation on that individual's part. And she was telling me about this event that had actually happened. I thought it was recent, but the more I listened to her, it had happened several years ago, and it was still impacting her performance at work. She was actually avoiding this person at team meetings. She wasn't on his team any longer, but it was impacting her performance. And so we have that ability to impact other people in a positive way and in a negative way. And so we need to be able to use our emotions to really connect with people and encourage people not to tear them down, not to speak ill of them or to yell at them or talk down to them. When we are low in that social regulation, that's what it looks like. Have you ever been on a team where other people take credit for your work? How does that make you feel? Not very valued, not very important, right? They're taking value. They're taking credit for all of the value that I brought to the team. When we are high and we're aware emotionally of how we're impacting other people, we can communicate that in a way that actually builds other people up rather than tearing them down. We can speak up for other people on our team. We can listen. We can dig in to, hey, what's going on? I want to help you in that way. So it's all about being aware of the emotions. Remember, I said these two go together, social awareness and social regulation. So I'm aware of the emotions, the underlying kind of current on the team, and then I can speak into that. I can communicate in a way that's speaking clarity and health into the team that's really kind of pushing away some of those toxic behaviors that look like, talking down to someone or taking credit for someone else or just that inability to collaborate when we're all just kind of doing our own thing, working as individuals rather than coming together as a team. That's really important to understanding EQ and developing healthy cultures that are all about collaboration, that are all about curiosity. And we actually see there's statistics that show when we're operating at those higher levels, our productivity increases, our desire to show up and to work and to do things that are really building those connections increase. Having well-developed skills in social regulation are going to be so powerful in creating a culture in your team, even in your organization, that's a healthy culture of collaboration, of talking about even some of the hard things, and it even will impact your relationships with vendors or outside customers. It's all about connecting with other people. That's what social regulation is. And when we have well-developed skills in this area, it's so powerful for bringing about connection, not only internally with our teams, but also externally with our customers. So I hope you've learned something today about EQ and specifically about social regulation. Next week, we're going to be talking about motivation. So join me next week for more Help for Leaders. If you enjoyed this episode and would like more information on emotional intelligence, behavioral styles, or communication, I'd love for you to click here to watch more episodes. And we'd also love for you to click here to subscribe so you're notified each week when we post more content.